Oh man, y'all caught me almost mid hum. What's going on? Happy Friday, and for those who celebrate, Shabbat Shalom. We are going into the Sabbath. You guys know I am a keeper, but who is in the building before we get started? We got the Hierophant. What's going on? Hey, chaos. Always good to have a little bit of chaos. We got Air Force Robin in the building. Yvonne, always good to see you here. Lady Classic, it's good to see your name. It's been a while. Salute over there at the Jaguar Wright show. Julia. Hey. So yeah, um, for those of you who don't know, something that we've been doing here now in the community, we've been doing what we call the weekend wrap up. And basically, it's just where we address all of the different situations that occurred throughout the week. Sometimes we go live and we talk about certain things. Salute to you. Welcome, Valerie. You know, it's there's a lot that happens in a week. So we just like to come and get back together at the end of the week and just, touch on everything that happened before we move on. And lately now it's like there's so much going on. It's hard to keep up with any one thing. Or is it just me?
Nope. It seems like that's just what it is. It's a multitude, a barrage of ish that just we get hit with every day.
You can barely keep up. Salute, Brandon. Welcome in. Hey, A. Reed. Welcome in. You know, this community that we've been building little by little, piece by piece, we've been growing and growing, and a lot has happened since, because we're approaching our 2 year. Our 2 year comes late September, and it'll be 2 years here at the Jaguar Wright Effect. Salute, Cole. And it's funny because when I rewind the clock now, that 2 years, we've been working together for 2 years, which is crazy because it doesn't seem like sometimes it seems like I've known you for a lot longer than I've known you.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes it seems really short,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. I mean, can you believe that it's been 2 years, really?
Nah.
And it's like all of the stuff that's happened in that 2 years. It's been wild. Salute, Alden. Welcome in. Hey, Go Cree. Welcome in. But what I will say is 2 years ago to now, the information and all of the stuff that's happening, it seems like it's ramped up. Like it was just, the whole picnic business. Tomorrow it'll be a week since then. And to a certain extent, there's been so much information that's happened in that time. It feels like it was like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it seemed like a long time. It did. So
Like it's man, salute chaos. You've been around since 2020. Look, I can't believe it's been 6 years. A lot of people didn't expect for me to be able to survive this long. What's going on, Dr. Jacko? Welcome in. Yeah,
well,
it's
you're surviving, and it's really about thriving now. You turn the ship is turning. Trust and believe. Y'all may not know, but behind the scenes, it's a lot of people's, let's just say, things is falling apart.
yeah.
Fall.
Look, I remember that. I was there at that era.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I first came in, and I'm telling you, it's just wild. It's just wild. Salute Auntie Leah, welcome in, welcome in. Myrna, welcome in. We're just taking this time. We're letting it breathe a little bit, making sure that everybody has a chance to get into the room before we start getting into these topics. And even for those who are here on the replay, we want to welcome even the replay gang in early and say, don't forget to hit the like. And if you are replay and you have a hype, please spare one on us. It would be great. Like, there's just all kinds of crazy stuff that's happening right now. Shannon Sharp is back. He back out in these internet streets.
You want to talk about Shannon Sharp?
I mean, yeah, you know,
Because they got Shannon
briefly.
Sharp looking. Well, I ain't gonna say what they got Shannon Sharp looking. Shannon Sharp is looking. I don't know what's going on with Shannon Sharp.
Well, it has been alleged this week, and I hate even I hate this platform, and I'm not gonna say I hate this particular platform because like I'm hating on. Yeah, exactly. Shannon's not so sharp. I mean, what do you expect from a jock? But he's a meathead. Anyway, long and short of it, what I don't like about the Trash K platform is that now they're trying to give it this unrealistic credibility. For me, for someone who watched Wendy Williams come up, who was there, and not just there watching as a fan, but I was there in the game. I'm one of the artists she interviewed. Like, I remember when she first came to Philadelphia, when Puffy infamously ran her out of New York. Like, I remember all of that. These are real key moments in my life. And even the association that I had with her at that time, right before I decided that I was going to turn away from the major game and go independent and try to find a way to do my art and to do my craft without having to be a part of the system. She's the one that introduced me to my last really great entertainment attorney that I worked with, who's now deceased. His name is Bert Padell. Um, he was a good man. He was. And it's funny because when I look at Bert now and I think about all that he did and all that he did it for, and I look at everything that's happening now, I mean, for a Jewish American attorney, it's things look a lot different now for me than they did then. But I see everything that he did. He was trying to save people from the system. Bert really did try to save us all. He tried to make sure that we got as close to fair for what we deserved. Salute, Never. Welcome back in. Um, and thank you for that, Auntie Leah. Please, if you can, because my legal defense fund is for real. And this is important. um, but Bert Padell, he was really awesome. And Wendy was kind of like an underground railroad for a lot of artists in a way. She knew a lot of stuff that was happening in the backdrop. And she had a very, very, very clever way of giving people information or pointing you in the right direction, you know, um, without being too obvious about it. As loud as she was, she had a real like cold covert game, you know. And salute to her. And was she perfect and was she easy? No, no, she was not. But as a woman who had also been taken advantage of and who was a victim and had been victimized by the game, I love the way she looked out. And I think that was part of the reason why she was so like, you know, hell bent on just being transparent. Like, she wanted all the guys that were gay to just say they were gay. Stop playing at it. Like, she really just wanted people to be authentic. So to take a brand like Trash K and attach it to that legacy and try to make it seem like she's the next generation of that. To me, in my opinion, I find it very insulting because Trashy K's entire platform is built on lies. And Wendy wasn't. Wendy wouldn't run with a story unless she could corroborate that 95% of everything that she said was true. Trashy K does the exact opposite. She runs with whatever salacious shit she can get her hands on. And then worry about getting to the truth as long as it's burning it up and burning it up in the algorithm. Like she's a reaction jock. Can't even call her a shock jock. Everything that she does is to get a reaction. Like, for crying out loud, it was just last weekend. She was busy talking about how Rory and Maul got thrown out of the picnic. And they came online and said, we weren't even there. You know, and she's sitting up there, it's all alleged. It's all alleged. Even my name is alleged. You're not saying that you weren't there. Were you there? Like, it's like poke and hope information. It's really crazy, really weird. So, you know, right now it's her platform that is being accredited with this story, with the Shannon Sharpe story. Apparently, so everyone remembers Hollywood, right? You know who Hollywood is.
Yeah.
So Hollywood was the little gay guy who was his stylist, and he's been a stylist to a couple other professional athletes. To which he fired Hollywood like around the time where his undercover DL brother rumors started swirling around, and then the next thing you know, there's audio being released of Shannon Sharpe and this alleged woman named Michelle that nobody ever really saw going hot and heavy on Instagram Live, which was weird because he sat there and he tried to pretend. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I don't know how I went live. It was an accident. I love Michelle. And you had to do this and you had to do that, and you got rid of Hollywood. And then, not long after that, was when we started hearing about the OnlyFans model. And then the suit came. And then Tony Busby got involved. And then he had to kick out all that cash. And since then, you know, his the gay rumors about him with all of that kind of just disappeared. Well, the gay rumors are now back. Apparently Hollywood and now a girlfriend or ex-girlfriend of one of the other men involved, I think Royce is his name, involved in the situation. She's now coming forward. She sent Trashy K pictures, text messages, the whole 9 yards. And of course she's exploiting it all to hell. And it's wild because people are sitting here like, you know, they're running with this story, and I'm hoping that it's all accurate. I'm hoping that it's all factual. I'm hoping that it's all real. Do I think it's true? Absolutely. But the thing is why take it to that platform if what you were looking for was, you know, sharing your story? And honestly, I think this is all a shakedown. Because let's be clear, like that whole platform over there, they're shakedown artists. That's what they do. They hustle and they blackmail and they hustle and they blackmail. So it's oh, thank you so much, Rachel. Appreciate you. Oh, wait a minute. I want to acknowledge. Thank you so much, Ebony. Appreciate you. So yeah, it's like, what's going on with Shannon Sharpe that this is happening now? Because he made it through the woods for the most part, and now all of a sudden, boom, this is back. Like we discussed it when we first, you know, started talking about the whole Cat Williams situation. I told you, because actually you and I, we hadn't even met when that Cat Williams interview came out. We didn't meet until after my Blue Couch interviews came out and after the raid and all of that. But we have spoken about this. And I told you, they're never going to let Shay Shay live this down. Like we both discussed that. When he let Cat Williams come and do what he did, the business was never going to forget. And they were going to make sure that he lost every dollar that he made. Now, he's had to kick out what, like 20, 30 million to that OnlyFans girl. He was in the middle of negotiating, wasn't it, like $100 million deal? That got blown out of the water. And so now he's just at his podcast game, and he's not the boss. He's the boss, but he's still a worker. He has to work. And now, what do you think's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole lot of just a whole lot of he lost that deal. That was all coordinated. I'm hearing, that was all orchestrated and coordinated behind the scenes by somebody. And y'all got to understand when certain people want to block you within this industry, and they got that power, they can do it, but you just got to be smarter in how you move. But I mean, they tend to know what people do, what people are about, and if they need to trap you up or get you up, that's what they will do. So I think it's just one of them situations to where they're punishing him, number one, for that Cat Williams situation. And they definitely don't want an outlier in regards to like someone who could come in and actually, because if Shannon Sharp did say, okay, I'm just going to do my own podcast network, blah blah blah, that would have been the proper jump off to do it right there. He already is running on the success of the Shannon Sharp show, and boom. But hey, they got him out the paint. That's it. They just found a way to get him out the paint.
They got him. But that's what I'm saying. It's really not, number one, I'm not shocked at the gay thing at all. I'm not. How many times have you heard me say, I don't believe that this man is along with the whole down low athlete thing? Have a bunch of babies by a bunch of random broads, and then you don't marry anybody, and then you just play bachelor forever, and you raise your kids, and that's that. And nobody asks any questions. So it's like, the question is why? What is going on that they needed to bring this back now at this time? There's something else there, and this is the problem with the whole download game. And I'm telling you, like, I don't think people realize what a great fly trap that is for when the industry wants to trap somebody and make somebody, do what they want them to do, when they want them to, as you would say, capitulate, get down or lay down. All you have to do is spread that little secret, or find that little one that one little person to spread that little one secret, and boom, you got them. And it's so much cheaper and it's so much easier than breaking a straight man. Like, it is so much harder to break a straight man than it is a down low man. Because with a straight man, you have to be able to find a way to infiltrate his marriage. You have to be able to find a way to get his spouse to flip on him, to turn on him. And usually you need a kid. The more, the better. But you need at least one kid, because you have to be able to make sure that that spouse can take that kid and put that kid into the system. And then this way the court can hammer and hammer and hammer away at a person. Right? But with the down low thing, it's different. Because all you have to do is catch that person slipping at one time and get pictures, audio, video, just at one time. You don't need to have to worry about dealing with a family situation or dealing with a court situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's It's just that's it. You just need that one time. So now this guy, Hollywood, and the girlfriend, she went through the phone. They've got pictures of Shannon in a hotel room. Apparently, men were gay. Well, they were doing very gay things. They was naked, you know. The one guy, Royce, I think he came out online talking about, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I do some real suspect things in pictures, but trust me, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm really straight. Like you don't know how straight is straight, man. I'm straight. I might do some suspect things in pictures, and I might, have some, but I'm straight. Like, really? There was this song that they used to play in the gay clubs back in the day, and it was this dance record, and it had this breakdown section in the middle of the record. And, so the queen on the record would say, "Oh, you're straight? Oh, you're straight? Oh, really? You're straight? Well, so is a noodle till you boil it. Boil it. Boy." And then they would all go crazy and start dancing like I'm just yeah, yeah, you're straight. And so is a noodle until you boil it. So welcome to the hot pot, Shannon. Um yeah, I think this is gonna be the beginning of the end for him. What do you think?
No, it's already the end for him. I saw him once when I was working at my old little spot, and he saw me. You know how it is. In Hollywood, you got these Negroes who, you know, when they're in spaces, it's usually white spaces, and they don't expect to see another real Negro or Negro. How about that? And he looked at me like, "What is this nigga doing here?" I'm just working. I was just working. But back to the whole gay rumor stuff and this and that. I'm gonna say this. It's funny because yeah, we know that they're down low men. We know that. They're hiding in hip hop. Shout out to Wendy Williams for interviewing that one guy who wrote that book. That was very brave of him to, speak on it at the time. That was a long time ago, maybe the early 2000s, late 90s. Now we already know down low men exist. Now, when you talk about down low women, though, um, especially in Hollywood, that pisses some people off, or when you start to that raises. Well, what they say is this: they say, "Oh, well, if you start talking about down low men and he starts talking about down low women, that means he down low." No, I'm trying to tell y'all, look, of course, if you have a young daughter, you're going to be very vigilant. You're not just going to have her sitting on men's laps and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, men can be perverts. A lot of men are weird. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But you also got women that are weird too. Let me just keep it a buck. You got women that are weird. But I just say all that to say that Shannon Sharp and his proclivities, let's just say it like that. Um, yeah, I don't know him per se, but he looks like, yeah, he could be one of these. And like you said, the guy who was talking about some, um, well, I'm straight. I may do some sus stuff. No, you got a lot of people in Hollywood who are gay for pay, or as Black Dot will call them, gay-tanic, right? Like
Mhm.
they're straight, but when it comes, like if they're broke, or and I've known some people like this. They if they ain't got no money, they gonna do some gay stuff straight up. That's just that's real. That is fucking real. And it goes the same thing with these women in Hollywood too. They not only gonna prosty themselves, they'll do some other strange things with some change. When the money get low, the hunger will show, as Corey Holcomb would say, right? So
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it goes both ways. I was just when you were saying all that, I was just thinking about just that Hollywood. Hollywood is about depravity. They're going to deprive you, depravity and depravity, right? I made up to another word. They're going to deprive you. They're going to deprive you of resources and access and this. Oh yeah, you see that person did it. Oh well, how did that person do it? Oh well, you got to come. We were talking about eyes wide shut. You got to come do. It's that's just what it is. Yeah, yeah, it goes both ways. Exactly, no pun intended. And Shannon Sharp is just the next victim, and like I said, he's being punished. He's being spanked. But don't get it twisted. You got women out here that are in that same situation. It's just that women, and I'm mainly saying black women. Black women are not going to get punished, or it's a different in Hollywood. It's different.
Yeah.
What's all that noise? The hell was that?
Oh no, nothing.
Okay, nothing. I just heard some noise. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's different though. It's just different. It is very different.
Well, the truth is as a woman, um, there's a lot of stuff that women get away with that we don't talk about. And you're absolutely right. We talk about the men, um, but we don't talk about the women. And the truth is there are so many women that do so much harm.
Yeah, a lot of women are the gate. I think it's not gatekeepers, but what they are in Hollywood, they will
No,
be
I
they'll be
will
the
say
ones
it.
who will introduce you to the
They
yeah.
are they are the procurers.
There you go,
You know what
procure.
I mean? Like
There
if
you
you
go.
want to call the men vampires, then we would have to call the women the werewolves, the daywalkers that go out and,
Yeah.
spot everything and
Mm-hmm.
create that space. And I would know because
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with a few of them. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a few of them that are running around now, that nobody's really paying attention to or acknowledging. And it's it's unfortunate because we've allowed these kinds of things to just go on and
Mm-hmm.
just happen. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there is, I mean, but there's a lot that's just wrong with women right now. Let's just be honest. There's a lot that's wrong with women. Let's talk about Cheyenne Bryant
Wait, hold on.
before we move on.
Do you okay? Before you talk about that, did
Hmm.
you okay? Let me hold on. I guess a good transition is Cheyenne Bryant, but let me see. Do you
Well,
want
no,
to talk
considering that
about
she was on Shay Shay and she was being endorsed on Shay
Ah,
Shay, and considering, I mean, she's been endorsed in a lot of places.
okay.
It's
No, go
wild
ahead.
because it
Let's
was
go.
like after Shannon, did the
Yeah,
Cat Williams thing, and then, they started to rebuff him silently in the background. He
yeah.
started bringing a bunch of questionable people onto his platform saying
Wait.
questionable things. Like, for instance, when he brought on Amber Rose and she was sitting there talking about there were never any freak offs, there was no freak offs, none of
Oh
that was
yeah,
going on. Like,
yeah.
he was doing a lot. He was doing a lot of bending over and bowing down. And Cheyenne Bryan is also one of the people that he brought onto his platform. Him, Cam Newton, all of them. Now, you were saying?
No. That's a good one. Let's talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, or as someone called her Sister
Yeah,
Cheyenne
sister,
Bryant.
sister Cheyenne.
Sister Cheyenne. Let's talk about her. Let's do that.
Well, no, because that was really interesting to see Jamal Bryant step out there like he did. Like, I don't know if anybody has seen or heard, but very recently now, huh, Dr. Jamal Bryant has come forward to apologize to his platform for bringing on Cheyenne Bryant and not properly vetting her to see whether or not she was what she was advertising herself to be and what he in turn advertised to his audience. Uh, I mean, he broke it down. He went hard to the paint on it, and it's wild because like in the middle of him speaking, he actually pulled out his diploma where he his
Mm,
his doctorate. you know, from Oxford. And man, listen to me, Sister Cheyenne on the Club Shay Shay. So, you know, Jamal Bryant, and salute to him for this because I don't always, I look at him. He dances that fine line of sketchy, but when he's on, he's on. And he started talking about, first Dr. King and how Dr. King actually had his doctorate degree by the
Hmm.
age of 26,
Yep.
and the jealousy in the, pastoral community, and how they started referring to each other as doc because they were jealous, and that was all real history. He even spoke about TD Jakes being a bishop and actually being ordained as a bishop, and people, just assuming that. And he's sitting there talking about, him and his background. He has a doctorate. His father had a doctorate. His mother had a doctorate. His sister got a doctorate. Matter of fact, his sister, he said, was the former head of the board for the American Psychological Association here
Hmm.
in the United States. So, him having Cheyenne on his show, and then her turning out to be not Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. It hit different in a whole nother way. And he was just sitting there saying, he cannot call her doctor because she is not that. Forget your honorary titles and forget all of the stuff that you're saying. Sis, and then he pulled up the clip. Ooh, when he pulled up the clip of her on the show and started talking about, people, unmarried people jumping in the tub, bucket naked, and having a conversation, and how if you can be nude, completely nude with a man and have a conversation that lets you know that you're safe. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like,
She wow.
and he's sitting there trying to tell her, yo, sis,
Like,
calm down. You can
chill
make me
out.
lose my license. Like, you
Right.
need to chill out. And he's sitting up there, listen to me. Don't get in that bath. If you're not
Right.
married, don't get in that bath. But it makes me wonder who who introduced them.
That's a good question. Now, for those who are part of our, we did a deep dive, right? Like the before Cheyenne Bryan is, has the world sees her now. She was making her rounds. She was making her rounds pretty much, and self promotion for the most part. But I think with her situation, it's a little example of what do you call this shit? Like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not fake it till you make it, but it's called something. It's called imposter syndrome, I believe.
Mhm.
So what it looks like is she was out there doing her thing. In fact, remember, oh, I got the rest of those video clips. Keep it going. I'm gonna bring that up. All the, because she was a music video girl. Remember that, y'all.
Oh, no,
Remember.
absolutely. Absolutely, she was a video vixen,
Yeah.
and but the thing that's tripping me out is, like, I've really been going back and just looking at a lot of the stuff that she's been talking about, and, like, as late as last year, she was saying, "I've been in private practice for 17 years, and I've been in private practice a as a therapist for 17 years," and I'm just like, 17 years? You didn't go into the doc the doctoral program at Argosy until what was it, like 2019, right before the pandemic kicked in.
Right. In
That wasn't
17
17
years,
years
she
ago.
she she was in music videos 17 years ago.
Exactly. So this is my thing. And salute to, Jamal Bryant for, apologizing to his platform. Because you know what? Right now, he's the only person that's posted her on his platform that has actually done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody else has been deflecting. Everybody else
Mm-hmm.
has been spinning. Everybody else has been pointing. Everybody else has been saying all kinds of stuff. W- Brandon said private practice of choreography and music. Look, listen to me. Private practicing in baths.
Mm.
She been, she been private practicing in them bathtubs, learning how to feel safe. Oh, it's it's just very interesting because somebody gave her the okay and said, "Here, put her on,
Yeah.
put her on, put her on." And when I heard Claudia Jordan, of all people, say, "Well, she trademarked the name, so she really is Dr. Bryant."
Right. Wow. Again, again, what did I say? Imposter syndrome.
And
Hold
consider the
on.
source. We're talking about Claudia Jordan here.
Yeah, Claudia and her toes, her gang banging feet, right? Her toes is from every hood in L.A.
But this is what's wild. Just think about that. Even when we saw the trademark paperwork where it had Dr. Brian on there,
Mm-hmm.
it was done in lowercase letters. Anytime you use the term doctor, it's uppercase.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
It's not
It's
lowercase.
supposed to be.
So the simple fact that she actually had the trademark done in lowercase letters already lets you know that she knew she was tap dancing on the line of fraud.
Yeah.
Even then, even with the lowercase letters, that lets you know that she knew that she was playing a dangerous game and making sure that she couldn't be sued because she put it in lowercase letters.
She's literally playing in people's faces, right?
Literally, literally. So, why is it that Jamal Bryant is the only person from the black community that put her up here, that propped her up, and that asked the public to trust her and trust her opinions? Why is he the only one to admonish her and to say, "I apologize
Well,
for promoting this on
let
my
me.
platform because I am a doctor. I have a doctorate and I have promised to you." Why is he the only one? Why did Paul Pierce, who actually pointed her out low key as a fraud on his show just last year, why did he come forward talking about, "Oh, well, she's not really hurting anybody"? You got Amanda Seals. I mean, okay, so she lied. So what? Like, what the hell is it with our community that there's no integrity, but also the need to coddle this woman?
Well, let me say this. It ties into the conversation that I had prior in regards to, there's just a different set of rules for the men and the women in our community. Um, the black American community, for the most part, is matriarchy. It's a matriarch, right? And you cannot question Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? You can't question uh, a woman in authority for the most part. It's mainly the Big Mama would be the woman in authority for the community,
Yeah, but
right?
she's not big mama. She's not, she's nobody's mama. She ain't got no kids. She ain't never had no husband. She says she's been engaged twice. We met her own family, and her family told us that she's a lesbian.
Yeah, she gay. That's what they said. That's
Like,
what he
that's the
said.
worst part about it. You're running around here doing all of this, talking about what you do with your body, and I allow my body to be used as a vessel for my man, and da 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 da. And in the name of Jesus, I like you're doing all kinds of wild stuff. But she's supposed like people that know her say she's a lesbian. And it's funny because if anybody paid attention to her on Basketball Wives a year ago when she got into it with Brooke, and then she went through the trouble of making sure the security escorted Brooke out, guess what? It wasn't male security guards. It was a bunch of studs.
A bunch of females, yeah, a bunch of yep.
She had a bunch of studs up in this event following Brooke and all of them out. And I'm like, oh, so you running thick.
Mm-hmm.
You got a crew. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because we ain't going to have all of this. Yeah. Get your ghetto ass out of here. They was, I mean, I'm like,
Yeah, it was it
all
was
right.
it was it was bad. It was bad. But what I was saying, here's what I was trying to finish, with the whole thing. Um, we're not allowed to question our sisters in the community, and she has a doctorate from whatever. You're just supposed to accept it. You ain't supposed to be um, like, oh, really getting down to the business of, making sure that they're thorough. They know what they're doing. It's just like, oh, okay, I'm a doctor. I know what I'm doing. No, no, no. Where are your credentials? Where, like, yeah, we in this community got things twisted. We really don't let it be a little boy, let it be a guy or whatever. You really can't get away with too much of the fake it till you make it, as a man, because you'll get busted out. You'll get busted out. You'll get called out. And the cold part about it is, it's really just it boils down to education. Everybody should, as far as education in our community, it should be, for the little boys, same thing for the little girls. If the little boy is illiterate, they'll just pass them on. But with the girls, it's kind of like, they make sure the girls get the education. It all goes back to slavery to a degree, because you don't want, don't have a smart boy, because then master will do this, or that's the theory. But uh, this situation, though, which is sad, because he's coming out now to be like, you know what, I'm I'm not endorsing her. I'm not vouching for her. This fake it till you make it fraud stuff. I mean, I think just across the board, it just needs to be called out in regards to just how it is in our community. We do got a bunch of people who fake it till they make it. Let's just
So
keep it a
then,
buck.
and that's fine. But wait a minute. Let's go back to Torre, because up until now, Torre has had the biggest voice speaking out against her and talking about her and how she is and what she's doing and she's not this and she I play a doctor on TV and all of that. It was very cute. And then
Hmm.
he pulled up these old receipts from a show that he was on with her where they were what? Selling her as a doctor.
Wait, hold on. I got some old receipts too. This,
They
this
were
is this is
selling her as a doctor.
these are all the videos she was in. Y'all look. This is Mac 10. That's her. There she is with Buster Rhymes is
Spliff
you know
star.
Spliff, yeah, Spliff. That's her. Um, she started out with that's B2K. Did that, and that's her right there with Mac 10. Look, y'all, look, it's deep. It's deep. It's deep. But Torre busted her out, right?
I know. Her and Candace Owens. It's
Another.
always the opinionated broad. Look, you want to know what's funny? Candace could have pulled off that fake psychology thing too. She could
Oh,
have
she
pulled
could
it
have
off.
easily did it. Yeah, she could have did that. Yeah.
She could have pulled it off. But
He said, I guess that was her undergrad. That's funny.
look, look,
Y'all know I be researching. Look, don't play with me. I be researching. Hold on, because I told y'all about. I tried to pull it up last time, but it wouldn't come up. This is Dr. Bryant, the best of.
look at her with her tongue all.
I
Lord
know.
have
Well,
mercy.
she was talking all that stuff with Mr.
Get in the bath.
Get in the bath, Dr. Bryant.
Listen to me. Get in the bath. No sex.
If if this was
And then they
17
make
years ago, look,
all the
if,
little dudes. I
if
know.
she was if she was
Short
yeah,
kings.
if she was doing this 17 years ago, this will be her around 17 years ago. Actually, let me see.
Yeah.
No, when was B2K? 2000? No, no, no. That's actually longer than 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like got to be 2003. That was like 23 years ago. This will be her before her studying, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. She looked like she's deep in study right there.
She's studying, all right. Everywhere I go,
Lord Jesus. Look at this
I
child.
see the same, bro.
Welcome, Black Homestead. Welcome. No, I'm just, and it's wild because even her reaction to being called out was, let me throw on a bikini and get on this camera and show y'all I'm still doing it. Like, even still, that's her whole thing. And it's funny because, like I said, Torre, he had that old footage, and anyone who saw it, or I don't know if you didn't see it by now, it's been everywhere. But they're in the middle of broadcast and they're having a disagreement about corporal punishment versus, you know, a more gentle method of discipline in the home. And she like started wigging out on him, called him all kinds of gay, called him all like, yeah, because you're real gentle. And talk to your wife like that. Don't talk to me like that. And then she just starts cursing him out. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this is the same chick that's running her mouth talking about God and talking about the Bible. And, you know, let's forget about the fact that every time she references the Bible, she's
She's off.
scriptures to fit, whatever narrative she's trying to create. Like, she plays that a lot. But my thing is this footage that Torre and them had, I think it was called Truth Talk was the name of the platform, and he was brought on to be a moderator because she talked all over everybody and she was disrespectful to everybody, and so she started cussing him out and going crazy on him. But you had all of this information and you questioned her credentials, and you questioned who she was back then. She went off on you, she treated you crazy, she called you all kinds of gay, told you to shut the F up, cussed him out, did the whole 9 yards, and y'all didn't feel the need to flag her back then. Like, you want to take that and you want to use that as a receipt now that she's burnt, and now that, you know what I mean, she's out on the block. But the truth is, if y'all had these worries and questions about her, why didn't y'all check her then? Y'all just kept letting her go.
Well, they're gonna allow. Look, she was to be used. I think she probably made promises. They looked at her like, oh, okay, she's gonna be useful. Usually, and this is why I bring up the black community. They will pick.
Is that not a problem? It's like where integrity is concerned.
Well, yeah. Let me continue.
Go ahead.
In the black community, a lot of times we're not looking for integrity. We're looking for, well, with her it was just, oh, she looks good, supposedly, right? She's pretty, she's successful. Oh, I want to be like her. So the women are gonna be like, oh, let me pay attention to her. She's pretty, and then the dudes, oh yeah, she a baddie. But but in our community, it's not about integrity. It's gonna be about uh who, like she was just in these videos, and the video girl who can be seen, who so her situation was basically just like a um let's put her out here. She's going to push an agenda. She's not telling everybody that she's gay, right? And let's just say alleged, because this is what we heard. Even though it's family, this is what we heard, and I believe it, but I'm going to say alleged. So ain't no telling what agenda she really is going to push. I could already tell you it's probably going to be black misandry. You know what I'm saying? and maybe whatever. But for the most part, it's not about integrity. It's really about like somebody said here, the clout. But I think the ones who are in the certain realm within the black community, they found her usefulness. Like, nope, she's not gonna be able to fulfill. She's not. So they're gonna burn her. Just like, it's funny you brought up Shannon Sharp, same situation. It's like, your usefulness is, nope, it's no longer, it's not gonna work here. So
Yeah.
we bid you adieu.
But that's crazy though, because everyone was sitting there giving, Torre all of these, props about, oh, look at what he did. He pulled up this receipt. Look, Cheyenne Bryan, and he's making viral videos about it.
He been doing
Meanwhile,
stuff. He been doing
you
stuff, right?
knew she was a fraud.
Yeah.
You knew she was crazy. You knew she was out of control. You knew she was out of pocket. And you didn't say anything until it was convenient. So, like,
Right.
that's why I'm like, salute to Jamal Bryant for being the first black person to come forward with a platform and say, hey, I made a mistake. I should not have platformed her. I should have vetted her. We should have checked.
Mm.
Which means somebody made the introduction and somebody told you, yo, you need to get her on your show.
Yeah. That's one thing I'll say about the black radio, at least that sector that I was working in. Most people, and I can say most, all were very verified. Like, you ain't finna just come up there and say you woo woo woo. Like, I know one clown came up there talking about he a comedian. I had to bust him out. Like, nah, he's not a comedian. He may be funny, but he's definitely not a comedian. And, and yeah, he's no longer welcome on that station no more like that. But yeah, for the most part, you do got to verify. You can't just let people come up and say, oh yeah, I'm this. And I give it to Corey. Corey was one of the first ones. I do remember Corey busting her out in the beginning, long time ago. This girl ain't no doctor. She's not an author. She wrote a pamphlet. I was dying because this is how far back I remember. Like I said, even when we talked about it early with LP, shout out to LP, and he said, yeah, she came to RMC. I forgot she came to RMC, and I was there. But they were trying to slide her in then. Yeah, so she's been doing her thing for a minute. That makes sense. The 17 years. If we talk about 17 years, right, that will be what, 2009. So
Yeah.
I think I remember the Corey Holcomb thing was 2012, and I saw I think I was 2014, 2015 when I was at RMC. Yeah.
Meanwhile, just recently, I was looking at a clip of Ray J spiraling out with a bottle of vodka or something, talking about, yeah, y'all, I'm getting help. My doctor's coming through. My doctor's over here. And what doctor was it? Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? Dr. Cheyenne. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, she's talking about, don't worry about my credentials. I've been effective. Look at what I've done. Look at what I've done. Look at your clients, the people that you herald as clients. Look at Ray J. Just as recently, he's sitting in the hospital playing little sick boy after trying to throw a fight. Like,
yeah, no integrity.
so yeah, it's looking like the Hollywood community is on their way to burning their useless warriors now. So Shannon Sharp is on the block. If Jamal Bryant is coming forward saying what he's saying, Cheyenne Bryant is most definitely about to be on the block.
Yeah. Maybe she can go back to the block, right? Maybe
see, that's the thing, Divine. She was never vetted. Nobody bothered to vet her. They should have vetted this.
That shit is funny. I'm gonna turn that into a meme. Her ducking it, her ducking out. Her ducking out right here. This is hilarious. That
You
needs
want
to
to
be
know
like a
what
meme.
sad? That her love that her little vixen scene was with Spliff Star. No disrespect. Got respect for Spliff, but that ain't the. And it's just so wild because she was doing that one interview and oh, if I wanted to make it in Hollywood, I could have made it in Hollywood. I could have been in videos. I could have been on reality TV shows. But you've done both. You have been in videos. You have been on reality TV shows. Clearly.
In the
Mm,
bushes, cat. Exactly.
that
well,
part.
well. I mean, yeah, like you say, they have to burn their tools. They're burning their tools. I think. Yeah, I just think they're burning her. She may have done. She see y'all don't be knowing though. There be other things that be done behind the scenes that y'all don't know. Maybe she did something to someone. Maybe Shannon Sharp did something to someone that he wasn't supposed to, and it got back. And it's like he's too much of a liability. But we can't just burn him for no reason. We gotta have her. Yeah. So we don't
So
know,
now
but
here they are.
we'll keep you on the lookout. Now, Jag, look before we get into the big stuff, I'd I got word. So I was, following in, and how we. So look, when we're looking for stuff to talk about, y'all, we try to find things that's really pertinent, or at least off the radar enough to where it's like we could bring attention to certain topics.
Yeah.
I saw the situation with the voting, some issues with voting in Los Angeles. So my guy William Campbell, aka Billion, he
Hmm.
ran for the assemblyman for California District 55.
Yeah.
I voted for him, so I know a lot of people in the community voted for him. I looked, and the poll results, and I looked, and I'm like, those numbers can't be right. Like they had they had his numbers because he was going up against someone who I'll say his name. What's his name? Isaac Bryant. This fool, light skinned. I think I pointed him out. If y'all look at my video, if you remember, I have the dedication ceremony video where I'm sitting there, and for the whole Nipsey Hussle Square, and
Yeah.
Isaac Bryant is the light skinned fool that was in the video or whatever. He supposedly set all that up to, or helped set it up for the dedication. He's in there, but he ain't one of us. He voted against reparations for Los Angeles, so
Yeah.
you already know we ain't banging with somebody like that. Anyway, let me not get too much on the political side. I just mentioned Billion because he brought this to my attention. So there's a whole thing with electoral fraud. He's talking about that,
Hmm.
and we could talk about that on another date. But for the most part, it's definitely interesting because I don't think his numbers were that low. Those numbers were hella low. But then he
Billions
also,
numbers.
yeah, his numbers were low.
Not
But he also,
surprised.
brought this to my attention, and you already know we got boots on the ground for this. Uh, Brother Fred Hampton Jr. has been arrested. I know that's your boy. I know
When did this happen?
this is recent. For those who don't know, one of my OGs
Free them
actually
all.
knew his dad. So right, you
I
remember, right?
know. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
yeah,
introduced
we
you to
we put them on
him.
the phone. We
Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. So yeah, this happened. I guess there was some type of order, some type of stay away order that he was supposed to have abided by, and they said that he didn't. So they arrested him, which sounds like crap. And then they said, he won't be able to go to court until July 7th, which is
of
over a
next
month from
year.
now. I'm like, yeah, no,
Oh no,
of next
I mean this
month.
year. Okay.
Yeah, July
Okay.
7th. I thought maybe it was a mishap. I'm like, okay, June 7th. But I'm like, no, June 7th is a Sunday. You normally don't go to court for a Sunday. So
Hold on.
I
And this
guess,
is in Chicago?
go ahead. It's in Chicago, yeah. They say he appeared for a scheduled hearing and a trial related to a okay, that's what it was. He appeared for a trial and a hearing related to a no contact stalking order which was originally entered July of 2029 sorry, July 29, 2025. Sorry. Instead of proceeding with the hearing, court personnel executed a pending warrant alleging a violation of that order. Hampton Jr. was immediately detained and transported to Cook County Jail, um, where he is being held. His next court date has been set for July 7th. So
Him in
yeah,
Cook County.
yeah. But we, you know what? I'm gonna text my people. I'm gonna reach out to some people. We gonna I mean,
I gotta reach out to some people.
well, you
We both
already
got
know. But
people.
I'm just letting you know. Look, you already know. We keep our ears to the ground. All that. It's just they. Yeah, I ain't gonna get into it, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your attention because as we were researching, I didn't get a chance to see it in time, and I said, no, 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 I gotta talk about this because that's our people, straight up. That's our people, and I talked to him a couple of times. He's cool as hell, cool,
I know. It's
and
been a
we
minute.
already know his
We
lineage.
haven't
Yeah.
yeah. It's been a minute.
So yeah, if you guys, this is the information you can call. Yeah, you can call. But they're already doing what they're doing out there in Chicago to bring some attention to it. You know how it is.
free them all. Now I'm pissed because I know what that means. So anyway, guys, y'all heard the word. Spread it and keep the chairman in prayer.
Oh, he's home now? Hold on. They say he's home. Okay, let me check this out. I literally just got that from Billion.
Huh.
Let me check his page. Why y'all doing us like this though? So they must have they had to. I mean, because that's ridiculous to have. Let me just double check because I don't want to just be like he is free and it's not. That's not the situation. But I believe you, brother. If he's free, I literally just got the word a couple hours ago.
Comrade, understood. Understood. Because I'm like, they can't keep him in Cook County. They can't keep him in Cook County.
Where is he at? Okay, I'm gonna check it out right now. Checking him out right now.
Him being arrested at all is stupid. Grateful
Refresh.
he's home, but
So Illinois, yeah, it says a no cash, no bond state, no money will be donated unless nobody it goes directly to his mother. Okay. Okay, I'm just double checking. That's all that I'm doing. We're
wow.
talking about saving a Hampton house. That's what they were talking about earlier. Okay. Okay. Yeah, an hour ago. He's been free. Okay, good.
Good. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I literally got it. And I see shout out to Dr. Melina. She yeah. Yeah. So but you know what they're trying to do. Let's just say it like that. What
Yeah.
they're trying to do. And that just makes me think. You see how they can try to, get things twisted in regards to just whatever they do, whatever this injustice system wants to try to make stick. They can try it.
At the end of the day, if y'all wondering why, I have a legal defense fund.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to people like us, they are always looking for a way to create chaos, fear,
Mm-hmm.
or cut you off from the world, shut you down, make sure you have no access. That's the name of the game. And hmm, I'm grateful he's home. We'll leave it at that.
Indeed, indeed.
So
So another
yeah.
another situation, because if we're gonna, I'm gonna get on my thing about injustice, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about a whole lot of things that are just not right, especially in America. This situation with this guy. Let's take that down. Sorry, I want to take that down. Sorry, just keep it down for a second. Okay, there's a situation with a young man named Cyrus Carmack Belton, who had been unalived by this. I was saying take it down for a second. Sorry. Um, okay. All right.
Take
Um,
what down?
that there. Um,
Okay.
yeah. No. 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 Never
What do you
mind. You don't know. You're not. Let me get through this real quick. This I was talking about the. You were showing the.
comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just saying take it down for a second. So trust me. This is what's going on in South Carolina. Jury finds this. I can't even call him a man. Whatever his name is, Rick Chow, not guilty for the pow-powing unalivement of this young 14-year-old kid, Cyrus Carmack Belton. This happened in Columbia, South Carolina.
Hmm.
And we've been watching it. People have been watching it. We really haven't been saying too much, but people have definitely been closely watching it because the state trial, it involves issues around self-defense, of course, the racial element, the firearms, and a store owner's response to a suspected theft. Kind of reminds me of something that I had talked about earlier this year with Latasha Harlins. But you have a new modern day version on May 28th of 2023. So this happened 3 years ago. Cyrus Carmack Belton, he had went to the convenience store owned by this Rick Chow individual. Chow and his family believed Cyrus had stolen a bottle of water. Surveillance video later indicated that he had not stole the bottle of water. After Cyrus had left the store, Chow and his son pursued him during the chase. Cyrus ran from the area. He was carrying a pow pow, which that became a central issue in the case. So Mr. Chow ultimately pow powed Cyrus in the back, unaliving him. Have you heard about this story?
I was not as aware of the trial. I remember hearing about it. I I've been totally like zoned out. So when I saw this, I'm like, "Oh, what's this?" And what I remember is just how much this kid looks like Trayvon Martin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's sad, and it actually reminded me, like I said, of this situation here. Yeah, he really in this picture here, he really looks like Trayvon Martin. Not here. Hold on. Well, he kind of here does as well, but I'm pulling up another picture. Just the
Mhm.
stories are similar. The stories
Yeah.
are very similar. Latasha Harlins, you guys don't know, she was same situation, Korean. Well, this person isn't Korean. I don't think he's Korean, but store owner, Asian. Let's just say Asian, unaliving a black kid over something that's less than $1. To be honest, no, prices is overinflated for everything, but water really is free. But the surveillance video said that he wasn't trying to, steal the water. So that was the prosecution's argument. They said that, he didn't steal the water, but Chow chased him over 100 yards, 130 yards from the store. Cyrus was pow pow while fleeing. Witnesses did not see Cyrus point a pow pow at anyone. So any claim of self-defense was unjustified because Chow initiated the pursuit. Prosecution also portrayed the pow powing as an angry action to mistaken belief that the theft had occurred. So what the defense is saying is they didn't dispute the fact that Chow, unalived the kid. They argued that Cyrus was armed, loaded with a semi-automatic POW, right? Blicky. During the chase, they said Cyrus pointed it at Chow's son, Andy, which, I don't know about all that. Chow believed his son was in immediate danger and he fired to protect his son, not because of the suspecting shoplifting. So the defense categorized the pow-powing as a tragic but lawful act of defense by another verdict. Now, we have an interview from a witness. I can go ahead and play that if you want, if you have anything you want to say, but...
No, let's listen to the witness first.
Okay.
Speaking publicly about her experience, the testimony she gave, and her thoughts following the verdict. Jasmine, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you for asking me.
My first question for you is, what was your reaction when you heard the not guilty verdict, and how have you been processing it since then?
It's been a very disappointing, definitely disappointing. It was definitely a slap to everyone's face, not only just to Cyrus' family, but all of the witnesses, everyone who worked so hard, to bring justice to the family. But it definitely was a disappointment.
You have testified in a case that has received a tremendous amount of public attention. We're not just talking about here in the Midlands, but really across the nation. And so my question for you now is, what was it like taking the stand and sharing your account in front of the jury and really in front of what seemed like the whole world?
So to get on the stand, to relive that moment all over again, especially on the day of the 3rd year anniversary of Cyrus' death, that took a lot, to go on there to speak on what I saw, how I saw everything go down, seeing Cyrus on the ground. It really was something that I didn't want to relive again, but going up there to speak my truth, to try to get Cyrus' family some type of justice, to let them know, yes, I saw what happened to your son. It takes a toll on you a little.
Okay, let me pause it there. It's very unfortunate where this young lady had to, witness such a horrific situation, and then she has to relive it. But then she's gonna talk about the fact that she got bullied online, and I trust me, I get it. You want to stay away from online and stuff like that, and not be too involved on social media, because a lot of people can be cruel.
Well, after everything you've been through, from the night of the to testifying at the trial, how have you been? How have you been working through those emotions? What's it been like?
Just staying off social media as much as I can. Of course, I did see some of the comments that some people have made about me and the other witnesses. I've been called a lot of names in the comments, stating that I wasn't telling the truth. There were people saying that I was lying under oath, that I didn't really see anything at all, or that I'm lying about who really Cyrus. So I've been doing my best to avoid social media, been trying my best to avoid responding back to most people in the comments. It was a lot of rude stuff, and how mean and hurtful the things that people were saying about me. And I have to keep in mind that they were not there. I was. And I have to live with this. They don't. So it's been taking a little bit of a toll on me, trying not to replay it over and over again. But after hearing the verdict, it's like you can't help but keep replaying it over and over again about what happened that night.
Yeah, it's
One of those
unfortunate. It's unfortunate where you know, again, just this whole situation is just unfortunate. Just a lot of trauma. The case became very controversial because look, uh, the dispute was not whether he, unalive the kid, if it was legally justified. So the jury essentially had to decide between the narratives. The prosecution says the store owner wrongfully accused the teenager of stealing water, chased him, and powed him in the back. Defense says the father saw a pow pointed at his son and made a split decision to protect him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the factual dispute was the heart of the case, and I guess ultimately it led to Mr. Chow being acquitted. So it's really sad. I'll just say, yeah, of course the trial took place, and he was found not guilty of the unalivement. This happened a few days ago, June 1st, and what y'all saw was from WIS TV, where the witness spoke to everyone about, and everyone's just disappointed. Cyrus family expressed disappointment and announced plans to pursue a civil lawsuit. So we definitely want to support them for that. And supporters of Chow, they viewed the verdict as recognition of a father's right to defend his child. I'm sorry though, you do not get to, pop no one in the back. Like that shouldn't be allowed. But this is going to set precedent, and almost let's juxtapose it to that Chud situation. Looks like Chud ain't really gonna get no love. He gonna get some butt love, but he ain't gonna get no love in the judicial system because they're showing premeditation. So that's the only reason why we're seeing justice over there, because he went online and said this is what he's gonna do. They're showing premeditation. With this situation though, I believe he's going to set precedent, and it's sad. It's sad. What do you think?
I think people should stop being so quick to think and just sit back and see how things play out. I mean, for me, this is, I know what it's like to have a child whose life is taken, and then that child is blamed for their own demise in the eyes of the law. I know what that's like. What happened to my son didn't even make it to trial. This did. I don't think that makes it any better. Actually, I think it makes it a lot worse, because the trial gave that family a chance to hope that a jury would have the courage to call things out for what it was. The problem with juries is that there was someone on that jury, or there were a few people on that jury that sympathized with the father.
Right.
They didn't sympathize with the victim. They sympathized with the father. Well, if it were my son, I would have done the same thing. That's how you get a verdict like that. Which begs me to ask, how did the defense present their case? And what didn't the prosecution do to make sure it was understood that none of that should have happened in the first place? Because, say what you want to say, a bottle of water ain't worth the chase.
Not at all.
A bottle of water is not worth The chase, if these people are corner store owners, they've had far greater things stolen other than a bottle of water. It's a bottle of water. It didn't justify the chase, which means, in my opinion, that son of his wanted to chase that boy. Now, from what I've heard, there was there was speculation that it wasn't even the father that did it.
Yeah,
There was speculation that it was the son that actually
yeah,
took this young man's life and that the dad took the charge.
that's what I heard too.
And considering in this day and age, with all of the cameras that are around in business areas, that there's no footage of what happened outside. And even now, just listening to the young woman who testified, we didn't go over her testimony, but it sounds like she had questioned what they were trying to present as fact. The simple fact that she was attacked online and gang stalked online, and it was said that she was lying on the stand, that means that she gave different details than what was being presented there in court. Um, it's just sad. It's just sad
Yeah,
because this is the state of America. Um, and, this is the problem with our jury system because all depending on where you are and all depending on who's in that box, your life or your justice is hanging in the balance of people who may not see you as an equal, who may not see you as the same, who may not see you at all. But one thing for sure, they sympathize with that father.
hmm
And it's crazy because now you have this whole hot button situation in that community with two different ethnic groups that aren't Caucasian. It's going to create a lot of divide. It's going to create a lot of upheaval. And though the verdict may have come down, I don't think the situation for that community is over yet. I don't.
No, just like in L.A. when that Latasha Harlan situation happened. Well, the brothers burnt that store down. I remember that they burnt that store to the ground. But the store owner, she ended up pretty much facing no jail time, and was on like probation for like 7 years or something like that. And then right after that, we had the L.A. riots. But someone said it in the
Yeah.
comments, and you can put some of the comments up where people were saying, yeah, they do all this to stoke the public
Yeah.
outrage. Yeah, it's done purposely. Right now, we're going to be seeing more of the race program play here in the United States because, look, resources are being consolidated. Not everybody gonna have money. Everybody know this whole situation with gas, the price of food. They don't want everyone getting up and protesting the fact that we're being squeezed. Like everybody, y'all saw the Matrix, and they said, we're like batteries. Now we're like oranges, right? And they gonna squeeze every drop out of everybody who's a consumer, who's who's in public. They're
For
gonna
crying
squeeze.
out loud. It's worse than that. And I'm glad we're having the conversations about, you know, AI and these data centers and what the
Mm-hmm.
total effect that's happening to our country as a whole. We're going to keep looking through um the whole data center conversation. We're probably going to get back to that on Sunday. Um I don't know if anyone has looked, but shout out to Nino over there in Nino's Quarter and the General's Corner. Um Nino here, he's a former boxer who does political and social commentary now, and he literally just took a trip to the Rio Grande River, and he stood in the middle of the riverbed, and it's bone dry. The Rio Grande it used to be a thriving river 10 years ago, and it is now bone dry. It is a desert basin. We've got all kinds of issues happening in this world, and they are going to go out of their way to make sure that everyone is pissed off so that they can continue to keep turning people against each other and using all of that agitation to create that negative energy that will help them, carry out the rest of their evil plan for world domination. It's that's what we got going on here. So I feel bad about this kid because it's like he was just more kindling wood to throw on that bonfire that they're trying to start. It's terrible. Hmm. Whew. I would like to hear what some of you guys think, and maybe when we get to the end, we'll drop the link. And if anybody would like to come up and share their thoughts on what they think about any of this that we're talking about, that would be great. Rest in peace, young man. And prayers to his family, because this is a terrible situation. Period. Period. Was there anything else about this that we were going to discuss, or
No, that's pretty much it.
yeah?
Covered that. We try not to focus too much on, because this stuff does get get me upset for the most part. But I'm old enough, wise enough now to realize what's the bigger play. And
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna be running all these types of stories to get you to focus off of. Like I was saying, I was trying to say, us being used as uh, the juice. They're like the orange. They, of course, the orange gets used for the juice, but what about the rind? They're gonna use that. They're gonna use everything of us to get us to forget about what's really going on within this
Yeah.
country. Speaking of, even this situation where
Well, before we get to that, since
yeah.
we're here and we're just talking about hot button situations that they're using to create a narrative to keep civil unrest going on, Ashlee Janae, because this is
Oh,
another
I didn't even.
situation.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I didn't have
This is
that.
and we're going to make our way around to that last, because that whole business, ugh.
Hold on.
But
If you wanted to get on the Ashlee Janae, you can go ahead.
yeah, no, I wanted to just like, no,
Go
because
ahead.
I'm thinking about this situation, with Rick Chow walking away, and it's crazy because Mr. Chow, and it just makes me think about poor Mr. Chow's, like,
Nah, it ain't that Mr. Child. Yeah, this
no, but it's just
this
the
bastard.
name. It's the name association.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
It's the name association. Um, And
But
that's
yeah, the
wild
Ash,
because that's where you know, Jamie Foxx got busting his mouth on his birthday at Mr. Chow's.
yeah,
So yeah. No, but the Ashley Janae situation, that is another hot button situation that is on the floor for this week, and it's kind of crazy because now the official report from the Tanzania police is they have officially ruled her demise as a self deletion. Now, I was looking at something someone else has said, and I have to go and take a look at it for myself. They said that her autopsy report is now available and you can find it. And someone said that there was M to the D to the M to the A found in her system, which is kind of wild because, I mean, I guess it was her birthday. Maybe she was partying, but she was allegedly supposed to have been alone. She had just been in a major fight with her boyfriend, allegedly. I'm sorry, not her boyfriend, her new fiance, who proposed to her online, and they were supposed to be staying in separate places. So she just decided to do M to the D to the N to the A, which is crazy because usually that creates more of a euphoric um a fantasy fairy tale feeling. Like that's not, you don't do something like that and then say, "Yeah, I want to end it all." Like that doesn't, that lives in the world of ecstasy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that really just, yeah, it's very euphoric, you know? So my thing is where in God's name does that add up with I want to end it all? So yeah. Um that's weird. There's a lot of things weird when it comes to this story. But now what they're saying, for those who haven't heard, that the Tanzanian police are now saying that in their investigation over the course of the past 2 months, since she has been gone, that she had a history of flirting with the idea of self deletion. They even said that they went and researched and that she had asked Chat GPT how much does the V pill, and I'm not talking about Viagra, but uh, hey, what's going on? Um, it's I guess, a sedative, you could call it. Um, can you turn the volume down, pill? And yeah, she had asked Chat GPT, how much of that do you need to take to end it all? And they said that she had been texting people in her family and leaving messages that kind of sound like they were goodbye letters, and all of this was going on. And yeah, exactly, it rhymes with Dalium. um it's just kind of crazy because it seems like they would have been able to deduce all of this a while ago. Why would it take 2 months?
sounds like somebody was messing with somebody's phone. If you ask me, I mean that's what it really sounds like. Like you can easily manipulate. Oh, let's search this. Let's do this after the fact. Like, come on, man. I'm not believing any of this
after
cover story shit.
after the Listen to me, after the incident with Tyler Robinson, they came up with a bunch of messages in Discord that had no timestamps. Like, it's easy to fake files now. It's very easy. It's also very easy to implant files. Um I don't know what to say. It's just they want people to believe that she took her own life. That's what's clear. That they were willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that people believe or have no choice but to accept the story that she took her own life. And it's funny because I think I've said all along, I don't think we're ever going to know what actually happened. And just because these authorities have given an official statement, that doesn't mean that the official statement that they're giving is accurate. It's just nobody's going to be able to check or challenge that. There are content creators that are also, asking, like, why didn't the family go over there? Why didn't they go to check for themselves? Why weren't they there? Why weren't they boots on the ground? I mean, they did raise over $60,000. They had more than enough money to get over there. Why didn't they go? I don't think I would have left that in the hands of foreign police without having some kind of family presence there. But whatever the case may be, that's the official story, that they're sticking to it. And they want everyone to believe that this girl was flirting with the idea of ending it for quite some time. And let's just say it were true. Let's just say that. Why, in God's name, if that were real, would you take somebody that's, what I mean, grappling in that state to the other side of the world for, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. And I don't think it's ever going to make any sense. And I think that's the point of it all. But one thing for sure, as long as it's officially deemed a self-deletion, Joe's not the bad guy.
Yeah, and then he can legally go after particular people. I think people are sleeping on that. He can take people to court that have said all kind of egregious stuff about him online.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, trust me, he gonna do what the whites do. That's what they do. They will take your ass to court.
Well, the one thing that I will say is as far as this platform is concerned, we've never officially cast any doubt, or said anything against him. We've only talked
We
of
ain't
the
gotta.
facts
We
and
ain't
the
gotta.
details.
Nope. We ain't even gotta. We know what we're doing over here. These motherfuckers. Yeah.
Matter
Man,
of fact, when that AI video came out, I was one of the first people to speak up against it. But see, just like I said with that AI video, that's the kind of crap that makes it possible. Because if he is allegedly, if he had anything to do with this or the cover up, they just made him a victim with that video.
Yep. He can run around and say, "See, this
Look
is
at what they did to me.
what they did. They slandered my name. They blah blah blah."
They had people believing everywhere I loved her. She did this to herself. This isn't my fault. I tried to make her happy. I took her to a beautiful place and I gave her this great ring. I tried to make all of her dreams come true. And look at what these people did to me. It's
Yeah.
yeah. So once again, another hot button situation where the end result is definitely unsatisfying. So yeah, there's really not much more to say about that. That's what it is. He's going to walk off into the sunset. She's going to rest in her grave. And I don't think we're ever going to find out the truth about what actually happened there in Tanzania. I don't think we're ever going to find that out, in my opinion. As far as I'm concerned, it's a little bit too neat for such a messy situation. And speaking of neat and messy, I guess that leads us to ooh, the new Michael Jackson documentary that they released on Netflix called The Verdict. Exactly, Kat. Okay, so I know that there's a lot of people that were saying to boycott this documentary on Netflix. And you know what? I agreed with that. I agree with that completely. So guess what? Guess how upset I was when I turned on Netflix and I saw that it was rated number 1 24 hours after it was released on Netflix. It was rated 21. So much for a boycott, huh? The boycott at Target was more successful than this. So once I saw that, I'm like, you know what? We need to watch this and we need to talk about it. We need to see what is this really all about. So this documentary, Michael Jackson, The Verdict, was all centered around what was it? The 2000, what was that? 2005 or 2000?
2003.
2003. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was. Well, it ended in 05, but yeah, the
Yeah.
case started in 03.
The case started in 03, but the trial and everything, it ended in 05. Number one, I remember that it was a mess. It was very messy. It was nasty, and they really used it to slam him, to try to make the world hate him, and to try to just destroy all support from his fan base in every way possible. I remember it, but watching it again, it kind of brought it all back up. And
Well, what happened was, let's get into this clip where, if you guys haven't seen it, this will just give you a general idea of where they were going with this whole documentary, because the documentary was based on the case that happened dealing with the child MO, or child, y'all know what I'm saying. So the media is very tricky, and how they can manipulate. Let me give you an example. Let me show y'all something of how. This is a clip that was in the documentary, right? And then we'll talk about it on the other side. Check this out.
How do you respond to that?
I feel sorry for them because that's judging someone who wants to really help people. Why can't you share your bed? The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone. You know?
You really think that?
Yeah, of course.
You're taking the position that you use every single night that you go into. You sleep, and you're sharing it with another.
So you can have my bed if you want. Sleep in it. I'll sleep on the floor. You can. It's yours. Always give the best to the company. You know, like to him, I said, because he was gonna sleep on the floor. I said, no, you sleep in the bed. I'll sleep on the floor.
But haven't you got a...
So the documentary took a piece of a 60-minute piece where Michael Jackson was speaking on him sharing his bed with children. And if you look at it, just to the left, and then this was part of the it was the one Indian guy who did the documentary originally,
Martin Bashir.
right? This was part of his project, and they really focused on this part, and it looked crazy, right? And they only really talked about that initial side, this part where he said this, but they didn't continue. They stopped the clip right where it goes black. Peep
One
it
night
again.
that you go into, you sleep, and you're sharing it with another.
He said, you can have my bed if you want. Sleep in it. I'll sleep on the floor. You can. It's yours. I always give the beds to the company, you know? Like to him, I said, because he was going to sleep on the floor. I said, no, you sleep in the bed. I'll sleep on the
But
floor.
haven't you got a spare room or a spare house here where he could have stayed?
Yeah, but no, yes, we have guest units, but whenever kids come here, they always want to stay with me. They never want to stay in the guest. And I have never invited them in my room. They always just want to stay. They say, can I stay with you tonight? I go, if it's okay with your parents, yes, you can.
So the way they laid this documentary out in certain clips, they took out the part where he said, "Yeah, I sleep on the floor." they, but like they made it. This is would let you know how sick in the head they are. They were projecting. They literally made the audience think Michael Jackson sleeps with the kids when the whole story wasn't complete. Like the whole statement wasn't even complete. He said, "No, you can sleep in my bed, not with me."
Now, see, I understand this kind of media manipulation very well because it's happened to me. And this is what makes stuff like this so dangerous. They get to take that clip and they get to edit it however they want. They get to take different sections and merge them right together, cut certain pieces out, leave this part out, cut this part here. They get final cut. So they get to craft that conversation in any way they possibly want. How many times does that happen to Michael Jackson? How many times do we see that happen to so many people? And people just accept what they see as a fact. It's very damaging to be able to look at someone and see something come out of their mouth and you're sitting there and you're appalled. But you're appalled and you don't even know everything that happened. You don't even know everything that was said. Of course, if you take that one part and him saying, of course, sleep in my bed. Yes. It's the most loving thing that you can do. And guess what? That sounds really terrible. Until you add, I'll sleep on the floor. You sleep in the bed. How many times have all of us had company come over the house and we say, yeah, you sleep in my bed. I'll sleep on the couch. Or, yeah, I'll sleep. Yeah, I'll
Nah,
sleep over.
you can't sleep on my bed. Sleep your ass on the floor. I'm gonna make you a pallet. Nah, I know what you're saying. You if you really can, like, yeah, moms come over. You're not gonna let mom sleep on the couch, mess her back up, sleep on the. No, yeah, company that you really care for. You're gonna make sure. Oh no, my bed is comfortable. Go ahead, you sleep there.
I mean, that's the thing. And I think a lot of people also forget the story of how the Jackson family grew up.
Yeah,
They grew up in a 2-bedroom, very small house in Gary, Indiana. There was 9 children in the family. The 3 girls slept on a rollaway couch in the living room together. The boys slept in bunk beds together. I think, what was it? Randy, Michael, and Jermaine all slept in one bunk bed together. So this is like it. I mean, for crying out loud, when I was a kid, I slept in the bed with my older siblings. They hated sleeping with me. I was a wild sleeper when I was a child. I had strange nightmares. And usually I woke up somewhere at the foot of the bed, at the bottom of the bed, and my foot was in somebody's mouth. It was. And yes, let's also not forget Michael Jackson and what we found out that's in the files about him exposing
Yeah, look, that's part of the reason why I was told that's why he created Neverland. Think about it. Number one, I mean, if you guys look at the biopic, and even Mike said it within his, his own mouth, he really didn't have a childhood. So he wanted to, of course, create that childhood. He wasn't to lure kids into his little whatever. And then, he also wanted to let children have fun, be kids. So Neverland was like, yeah, this place where kids can have fun. But he was also, I told it was, to rescue children that have gone through the whole frazzle. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Well, let's look at the family that accused him in that 2005 trial. And Kenzen, he left a comment here. I don't know if anybody knew about this or if anyone had heard about it, but he says here Kamala was instrumental in the 2005 trial.
Oh, she was the
in helping build the case.
Attorney General in California at the time. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. So, let's look at the family. The family, I mean, the boy was, his life was completely jeopardized. Michael Jackson supported him all the way through chemo, everything. He was there for that family. And I guess nobody really knew their background, because it wasn't until the trial that I think they started really digging deep in finding out their actual background. Welfare fraud, shoplifting. The mother had actually made an accusation of being, molested by the same security that was removing them from JCPenney's, and they ended up suing them and got $150,000. So it's like, and even the testimony, going back and watching, to a certain extent, I'm glad that we watched it. I'm glad that I saw it, because there were a lot of details that I was, fuzzy on, because that was so long ago. But they really ran him through the ringer. 80 some odd different witnesses they had testified against Michael Jackson. 85 witnesses. That's insane. They didn't even have that many people testify against Diddy.
They didn't.
I don't think they had that many people testify against OJ. Nor did they have a lot of experts. All people. And every time they struck out with one group of witnesses, they found another. Old stories. Found another. Disgruntled employees who had been released from their duties at Neverland.
Yeah. Yeah, you were muted. I don't know if you knew you were not. You were muted. So FYI. Okay. All right.
Hello?
Yeah, you were muted. Just FYI. I was just
Yeah,
letting you
there's
know.
something going on with my there it is.
Okay.
My microphone and my headphones, they got detached. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Let me just drop down for a second and I'm gonna come right back.
For a man, a grown man, to be doing that, how do you respond to that?
I feel sorry for them, because that's judging someone who wants to really help people. Why can't you share your bed? The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone. You know?
You really think that?
Yeah. Of course.
And taking the position that you use every single night that you go into, you sleep, and you're sharing it with another.
He said, you can have my bed if you want. Sleep in it. I'll sleep on the floor. You can. It's yours. Always give the best to the company, you know? Like to him, I said, because he was going to sleep on the floor. I said, no, you sleep in the bed. I'll sleep on the floor.
But haven't you got a spare room or a spare house here where he could have stayed?
Yeah, but no, yes, we have guest units, but whenever kids come here, they always want to stay with me. They never want to stay in the guest. And I have never invited them in my room. They always just want to stay. They say, can I stay with you tonight? I go, if it's okay with your parents, yes, you can.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. My audio. All right. 1 second. We're gonna be able to get this away. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't. It the mic came up for that.
Okay, you sound muffled. You may have to change your settings on your computer to say, pick up this mic, because it's probably picking up another mic. I'm not sure, but
Do I still sound muffled now?
you sound better now. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, no, what they did to him, the amount of stacking the deck that they had, and they just kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. Like when I heard the one witness say that the prosecutor had said, well, maybe you were asleep and he did all of this to you while you were asleep.
Mm-mm-mm.
And you just don't remember what he did to you. The excuses that he was making for people that it was pretty obvious that they were lying. The way he did everything that he could do to mislead the jury. We're not even going to talk about the social worker, or maybe we should talk about the social worker and talk about the one reporter. And it was wild because it was like her second bite at the apple, because she also was a reporter who was like building her reputation and her persona off of the 1993 case. And it was like, boom, okay, we got him this time. And just listening to her, how disappointed she was that things weren't, working out the way they wanted them to, or even the way they brought his ex-wife, Debbie Rowe in. And she didn't do what they wanted them, what they wanted her to do on the stand. Like they were so disappointed. Like when you see how that kind of evil works at that level, and they, just thinking about that Barbra Streisand clip that they put in there. Well, he is a little weird. He's just a little weird.
Yeah.
And my thing is, so is Woody Allen. I don't see you guys bothering him. And he actually married a child that he adopted.
Yeah, exactly.
And raised. But Michael Jackson's a little weird.
Yeah.
Roman Polanski, he's a lot of bit weird. Ozzy Osbourne, he was weird. Like there's Elvis Presley was a grown man who married a 14-year-old girl, and everybody sat around and made all kinds of excuses for it. Like, oh my goodness, just the level of eccentricity. L. Ron Hubbard. Wouldn't he classify as weird?
I would. He's weird. He definitely was a weird one.
Honey, Jerry Lee Lewis and his 12-year-old second cousin, Elmira, his bride. They talk about weird. I just Uh, wait a minute. Kenzen says Barbara Streisand's husband, James Brolin, is a little weird, being Christian Bale's father and pretending he isn't. That's what, you know what? That's funny because nobody ever talks about that. He only claims Josh. It's a look, there's a lot of look, exactly. The occultism, Jim Jones, Aleister Crowley. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's weird in America. But the thing that nobody really ever talks about is how nobody had a problem with Michael Jackson until he bought all of those music catalogs and became one of the wealthiest men in the world. They didn't have a problem with his eccentricity then. They didn't have a problem when he was hanging out at a Studio 50, was it Studio 54 or 57? Why can't I ever remember that? They didn't have a problem with him when he was hanging out with Andy Warhol. They didn't have a problem with, like, they didn't have a problem with a lot of things. But the second that he bought those catalogs, the second that he became the boss of bosses in the music industry, and he was the king of pop, then all of a sudden, he's wacko jacko. He's weird. You know, it's just funny how people literally get to take their biases and make their judgments and use it against people. But what I will say about them re-airing this right after the movie and the whole world was reawakened to the magic and the wonder and just the awe that Michael Jackson inspired in all of us. Like it's been interesting ever since the Michael movie came out. It's like the world kind of fell back in love with Michael Jackson again.
Right.
And then 6 weeks later, boom, here this hits. And then you really get to sit there and you get to see the hatred that was developed for him. It's kind of wild because it's like they really went out of their way to try to open up that little door of hate. Like, don't forget to hate him. Don't forget. I mean, they like when that woman said, okay, it's not that he's innocent. He's just not guilty. He's just not
Not that
guilty of these charges. It's not that he's in it. Like it didn't. They didn't say not in. They didn't say innocent. They just said he's not guilty. Can you explain that to me and make that make sense?
I can't. That's yeah. Her. I'm gonna put it and say her racist ass, because obviously, you know, if you're gonna be straight up across the board going after all of the PDFers, and at that time, yeah, the Roman Polanski thing was a thing. There were a lot more that going on, but she decided, you know, to be someone who's, they always got to have someone who's seem a little coherent, but they're crazy as cat shit, and they go after someone. She was that one that they picked for Michael Jackson, and yeah, something was wrong with her. She literally said, "It's not that he's been found not guilty, but he isn't innocent." I think not guilty and innocent are the same, but go ahead, ma'am.
No,
You and your
if
twisted
you've been
delusions.
if you've been found, literally, the antonym for guilty is innocent, isn't it? Like,
I believe so.
if you've been found not guilty, it can only mean that you are innocent. And she literally said that. It's not that he's innocent. He's just not guilty of these charges. But wait, we'll find more. Like, that was like her attitude.
Yeah, the feds were on him for 10 years. They looked for 10 years for something, and they couldn't find anything. If the
They
feds are on you for 10 years, I think they were on
ugh,
Gilbert Arenas for less time than that, and they got all kind of ish on him. But that's a whole nother conversation. They were on Mike for 10 years, didn't find a damn thing.
thank you, Detroit Black. Appreciate you. No, but seriously, it's we have to ask ourselves what kind of world we're living in, um, where we watch these witch hunts happen in real time, and nobody stands up to say this has to stop. Like, how do we? And that's the crazy thing about it. These things actually make it to court. They didn't have anything. They said they found these books of nude children in his house. Are we sure they found them in his house? Are we sure they weren't planted there? Because in the trial, the magazines that the one Sun Star had said that Michael was showing to them, they said this is the episode, that this is the I mean, well, this is the issue. This is the exact magazine that Michael showed you. And they said yes. And the little boy is sitting there looking at it. Meanwhile, right there on the cover, it is said that the issue had just been, like, it had just come out. So how is this the what he showed you if it just came out? And this was years ago. Like, it was just a mess. It was a uh mm,
That's what
it's
they do when they want to get you. That's pretty much it.
yeah, but get you for what? See, and that's the thing. It's all of these ulterior motives and these hidden agendas. And then they take these very public shams and they throw it on people. And it's kind of sad. But when that one juror said that at the end of the trial, Michael looked at her and he nodded and said thank you and just bowed his head to her. Um, well, that was another thing that I think a lot of people weren't paying attention to that I was paying attention to. I didn't realize that Mark Garagos was involved. And for those of us who are familiar with the name and not sure of where we're familiar with it from, that is the attorney that works with Harvey Levin on that Angry Man podcast. He works with TMZ and he represents Diddy. It's just really interesting. Really interesting. Because he didn't represent Michael in that trial. What was it? Tom Mesner is his name?
Wasn't?
Is that his name? But interesting. Garagos is representing Sunny Hostin.
For what? Oh,
Hmm.
she has a case, right?
Yeah, and her husband got busted for some stuff too. Like they're all
criminals.
of these people crooks.
They're all criminals.
Crooks. Just it's but I hate the fact that so many people were drawn to yes, Aisel, I know all about the bullying of Janet Jackson. It's just really wild because that's the kind of world we're living in where manipulation and the products of manipulation are heralded as facts, and the public just accepts whatever is there. And yeah, no, that seeing that and seeing how like the media is just like, okay, you love him, and he's great and he's wonderful, but don't forget, look at what we did to him. Are you sure you know the real Michael Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure he's so great? And that family hasn't spoken publicly since that trial happened. So it's in my opinion, it was just a hit piece. It was a media gaslighting hit piece. And if you choose to watch it, for me, what I will say is that it reminded me of what the hell and the torture that they put him through. But don't let it steal whatever joy you found watching the movie, because that movie has brought a lot of people joy. And yes, it has almost made what, $1 billion in less than a 90-day quarter. That's No biopic has ever done that. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Like I said, we watched it for research purposes to see what it was that they were trying to push and peddle, and the stuff that they'll do. So, we live in a world. We live in a world, but especially in this country, injustice is it's like Golden Corral. It's a buffet, man. And they'll serve you anything. They'll serve up anybody. So, you have any final thoughts? Because I think that's pretty much it. Are we going to drop the link?
Yeah, go ahead, drop the link, of course. Yeah, no final thoughts. I said what I said, man. These they're getting just real crazy on everything in regards to what they're pushing in the media. If you ask me, it's just ridiculous.
Okay. I'm going to learn how to get this right.
Yeah, go to I'll do it. Here it is. It's get a presenter invite, and you just invite guests. You can grab the
Usually I do it on my
there,
mobile.
and then okay, yeah, I don't know how to do it from there though, but we'll give y'all 5-10 minutes to. I put the link in there if you guys want to come up.
Yeah. Yeah, watching just the interviews of Jackie Jackson cry like that. Yeah, that was Jackie has a sweet soul. Him and Tito, they were I would say that they were definitely the more sweet natured. I didn't like that one guy, but it was some of the things that he was saying just about the way the family handled, or certain members of the family handled certain things during that time, and how some people in the family were more worried about the legacy of the Jackson name than they were about what was actually happening to Michael. And just, it's just interesting, to see there's always someone that wants to reign on the parade. Let me tell you something. Marlon Jackson, listen to me. Marlon and Randy, they both have really interesting senses of humor, but Marlon was a dancing ass fool. Promise you that. Okay, we have someone in the background. Okie dokie. We're adding upper echelon to the stage. Salute. Welcome to the Jaguar Wright Effect. How are you?
Hi guys, that was so quick. I wasn't expecting it to just get in like this.
It's okay.
Salute.
Salute.
Yeah, I was just listening to the conversation. I mean, I was working, then I only caught like the last bits. And I'm really happy you saw the documentary, because I was like, I don't think I can watch it, because I remember that Oprah debacle, because Oprah was supporting that whole Neverland thing, which was really damaging for
After
MJ.
he passed away.
After, exactly, like, it's really sad. And you've been covering the Britney Spears story, which I feel like there's a little bit of like similarities on how both of them got lined up after they purchased, their masters, and you can see
Mhm.
how different people start gravitating towards them. And like I'm seeing so many people getting closer to Britney Spears, like, oh, let me do your hair, let me do this. And it's just like, it reminded me of MJ. And it's like, it's just sad. And when MJ, the last years of MJ, he was being scrutinized heavily. Like I remember,
Yeah.
you know, even when he was invited to I think it was the VMAs, and they pretended like they were gonna give him like a Millennium Award, and it was like a prank by MTV.
Yeah.
And he was like, how do you humiliate the king of pop in that manner? Like, for what? So
Well,
it started a long time ago,
yeah, it did.
It's mm-hmm,
No,
for sure.
it's thank you for bringing that moment up because I think a lot of people forget about that. And
They do.
just to add to what you were saying, a lot of people also forget, because I forgot, just the sequence, because there was just it was just a barrage of bullshit that they threw at him in those last 10 years of his life.
Mm-hmm.
But after he was acquitted and the trial was over, 4 years later he was dead. And it was
Yep.
right when he was about to do that This Is It tour, the last tour of his life, right?
Yeah.
And even around that time, there was just so many interesting things that were happening and so many conflicting stories. So yeah, you don't have to watch it. We watched it and we're telling you what happened. Spoiler alert, don't
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to waste your time.
No, I feel like that would hurt my feelings as well, because it's just like
Yeah.
it's just hard, like it's really hard. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Um I mean, I'm gonna have to replay the beginning because I feel like, I mean, I was trying to catch up at work, but I missed the first half of the show. I don't know if you were
Oh,
like covering other topics, but
oh no, we definitely were covering other topics. We talked about a few different things that happened. This is the weekend wrap up, so we just talk about certain things that happened, you know, that went on during the week, things that made an impact, things that, look a little suspicious. That's what we do around here. So
If you go back,
yeah.
about 30 minutes, that's when we started speaking on Michael Jackson. So just FYI,
yeah,
Oh, I
about 30
see. I
minutes, 30
see.
minutes from this time point here.
yeah.
But Jag, my favorite thing about you that I have to say. By the way, I'm based in London. I'm Portuguese,
Oh,
but
oh,
I'm
fantastic.
which, by the way, I really hope you get to come to Europe very soon, because I think you would have a really good time here. I just have a
It's
feeling.
it's been a long time. I haven't done an official tour in Europe in about 15 years. So
Wow.
yeah, I used to tour quite regularly.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I know you used to. That would be
Hmm.
great.
It would be
Um,
good. It would be dope to come back. It's been a minute. But you were gonna
yeah. But what I was gonna say is that since I have this opportunity to be here, like I just want to thank you for painting a picture, which I feel like most people in independent media don't do. And you literally, you know how to put all the elements together and be like, guys, let's look at the whole thing. Like, there's a reason why this happened. Like, we have to go back. And it's just like, please keep doing that, because that's the reason why I keep watching the show. Because you literally, a lot of times, I'm about to say something and then you say, and I'm like, wow, Jaguar is brilliant. Like, she really knows how to paint a picture. Because people are being programmed to just look at what's in front of them,
Mhm.
and they really don't want to put any effort in like asking why. Like, why did this happen? Who's
Yeah.
behind it? What's the intention? And yeah, I fucking love you. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
No, of
And
course, of course.
salute. God knows, I truly do miss fish and chips, and I miss Birmingham
Period.
Arts. Yeah, I miss Camden a lot. I miss it all. So Just hold my love, hold my heart.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Awesome.
So enjoy the rest of your night, guys.
You too.
Thank you so much for letting me come in, and I'm looking forward for the next episode for sure.
Great. Thank you. And thank you for just taking the time to stop in.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Right.
Bye. Bye.
Okay. We have the one and only backstage. We're bringing you up now. Welcome to the stage, the one and only. How are you?
Hey Jag, I'm good.
What's
Nice
going
to
on?
talk to you. I'm doing really good. Nice being here on this platform again. It's an honor to be speaking with you and Odell. What's up with Odell? I don't know if he's around. You can hear me.
I'm right here. What's going on with you, man?
What's good? What's good? Yeah, it's nice talking to y'all. You guys are amazing at what you do. Yeah, the last guy who just spoke, I second everything he said. Like, you guys are awesome. This platform is awesome. I just love the work. Yeah, you guys are dope.
Thank you.
I did, yeah, you're welcome. I did want to talk about the that boy in the store. My thoughts about that. That's actually a very crazy situation. It happens a lot more than often, those kinds of situations. Like, it's not even just about the fact that he got shot. Like, it's the whole point of that. It was over a water bottle, which is
Yeah.
absolutely insane. And I feel like people, they have, like, the whole situation, when you really look at it, it's like the greed of some people. The fact that they feel like you have the audacity to sit here and take something from me, as if life is really about you owning anything at all, you know? And so it's a big misunderstanding where people feel so threatened that having something like a water bottle, you know, even if the guy did take it, like, what would
It's
be
not
so
worth it. It's not
Yeah.
worth it. It's a water bottle.
Exactly.
It's not like he
So,
stole the coffee machine.
right.
It's not like he stole a cell phone. You know what I
Like,
mean? It's a water
yeah,
bottle.
basic necessities. You know, everybody should be able to have something to drink, especially water. But in society, somehow it's placed in a monetary system where your basic needs that are pretty much free for all of life have a price tag on it, a fictitious price tag.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, people are fighting over free things. Like, how are you fighting over free things? Like,
People are dying over free things.
exactly.
Because if I were to go up to a bird or a squirrel or even a dog and ask them, how much did you pay for your last drink of water? You know, it's and you're making great sense, but at the end of the day, that young man lost his life.
Right, unfortunately.
And it's just very, 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 and I'm sure for young people it feels daunting. Like, I remember when I was young and we would hear about people our age, you know, and this is back when I was a teenager back in Philadelphia. Um, I'll never forget one time an old friend from the neighborhood, he was, you know, taken down by firearms, and, you know, you could hear the shots from across the boulevard, and it wrecked the whole neighborhood. Like, it wrecked the whole area. Senseless. It didn't even have to happen. And I remember it created like this feeling of that could be me. That could be anybody. That could be him. That could be my best friend. It could be like, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen to me? It creates quite the void. And now with social media, these stories get to travel so much further than just the neighborhood. Once upon a time, this story with this young man, it would have only traveled in that area. But now, because of social media, the whole country gets to hear about it. And all depending on the algorithm, the whole world gets to hear about it. So we're getting slammed constantly over and over and over again with all of these really, really, really just horrible stories about horrible things that are happening. We kind of have to remember to pray when we need to pray and be grateful for what we need to be grateful for. So I hope that when you young guys, hear about this story, it doesn't internalize too much. Like, I hope it doesn't live with you too deep, where it creates a sense of, just despair. Like, man, that could be me.
Right. Because that's how you attract that in the first place. And that's not anything like people need to be thinking about for real. It's like,
no, it shouldn't be.
Circumstances in extreme cases where you could lose your life. Like, your life is a very valuable thing. Life itself is a valuable thing.
It is.
Why think about being in despair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for coming up.
Yes, I appreciate the conversation. I also wanted to talk about Michael Jackson thing real briefly.
Sure.
Yeah, MJ is so dope. Like, I literally was listening to, I think, the Dangerous album, because I haven't listened to that album, and like the song Jam, the very first song, it goes so hard. And the lyrics in that song, sorry, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like,
it's a little loud in the background, but we can still hear you.
It's people blasting their Hispanic music. But back to what I was saying. The Dangerous album, the song Jam, those lyrics go hard. And Michael Jackson, he put a lot of like truth in his music. That's what makes his music very meaningful. And just music in general that's meaningful and teaches you things and inspires you to look at life in a holistic way. Like,
he spoke to us.
Yes.
Songs like Heal the World, Man in the Mirror.
Yeah.
They Don't Really Care About Us. Yeah, he used his music to reach people, and you have to ask yourself, how many times did they hate the fact that he was able to send out those healing messages? Because that's not what they wanted. You got to remember, in the time where he was soaring high, that was when they were starting to change the frequency for music and change the message from love and positive to sex and hate and all kinds of things. So he was a beacon, he was a lighthouse, and I'm just glad that you guys get to have that just like we did. And that's what he did it for. So he won. Even in the midst of all that they tried to do, he still won. You being able to say that about him after all of these years, he won.
Yeah. And MJ was like a big part of my childhood. Like, my sister, she was obsessed with him. Like, I remember being younger and we had the CDs and we put it to the radio. We would be dancing and like, who could do MJ move the best? And like, we would just be imitating him and listening to a lot of his songs.
Yeah.
And that was a very fun part of life back then for me.
Well,
So uh,
that's the legacy. And you're a part of his legacy. I'm a part. We're all a part of MJ's legacy. And no matter what they try to do to try to, you know, like that's when it came to this this documentary about this trial, especially coming out now at this time. It's just like you won't win. That's all I could say. You won't win. This this story is so much bigger. His story is so much bigger than this one thing that you tried to do to cut him down.
right.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for stopping by. It's good to hear from you.
Yes, it's good to hear from you as well. I just want to say, lastly, to end it off,
Mhm.
that your channel, you and Odell, you guys beautifully make art, and you guys put that beauty in, add it with meaning and inspiration, and that is why you guys will, no matter who tries to tarnish your guys' image or tries to destroy your channel, you guys do exactly what imitate. You guys do exactly what God does. Create beautiful things and add purpose with it. Add meaning with it. True meaning, meaning that will inspire. So I just wanted to say that to end that off.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate you for saying that. And thank you for acknowledging all of that. And we all have to do our part.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Cat just put this here, a Michael Jackson quote. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Oh,
Indeed.
yeah.
Yes, MJ. All right. Well, we're going to get ready to wrap up now. Thank you for being the last person to tap in. It's
No
always good to
problem.
hear from you guys.
All right. You guys have a good one.
You too. Salute to Upper Echelon and the one and only. Guys, it's been a gag. It's been a blast. It's been the weekend wrap up. And we're about to wrap up. I want to thank everyone who participated. Thanks to everyone who's been here from beginning to end. Replay gang, you already know what it is. You know what to do. Oh, hold up 1 second before we go. There's one last tap in. Our girl Myrna Sanchez.
Hey, Jack, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, we can hear you. Salute.
Salute, salute to you guys,
Shabbat
man.
shalom,
Hello,
sweetie.
Chad. Hey, Grace. I know she's somewhere in the cut.
Uh-huh.
Man, all I want to say is two things. Because, I always got something to say, a lot of things to say, but I know I can't stay here all night. Um, yeah, that rap was whack. Whatever that was, I don't know. I just wanted to say that since like the next day. I was so pissed. I was angry. I was like, why? See, you don't started something. That was not nice. That was not good. But that was whack. I just want to say that 100% was whack. It was a lot of us expected different because he's supposed to be the jigger man, but the jig is up.
That part.
The
And
jig is up.
you want to know what's so funny? That happened. I wasn't even trying to pay attention to it. People went out of their way to try to force me to pay attention to it. I got annoyed. I got bothered. I got bugged so bad. And I'm like, wow, it's so funny. You would think that if I was the clout chasing person that they've accused me of being, that I would have been all over it. And yet I was nowhere near it. And they just kept nagging and drawling. And it's just, you know, we have to pay attention to the fact that, these people are looking for attention too.
Exactly.
They're looking for attention. They're looking to create engagement all their own. It's kind of wild when the people who are supposed to be the clout start clout chasing,
Yeah.
and so that just lets me know we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and then that troll that came in, I was here because I'm in Honduras, by the way. I came for a few days. I'm
Uh
leaving
huh.
tomorrow.
Safe
My
travels.
Man, I'm like, man, I don't want to go back, but I have to have some appointments I gotta attend to,
Yeah.
and that's why. But man, I was pissed at that troll that came in talking about, oh, I respect you, da 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 da. And next thing you know, she turned on you. Don't they know we used to this? We see this over and over and over again. This is the same pattern. Like, stop. We
Listen
all
to me,
see it.
sweetheart. That was one of them barbs. And did you see my reaction to it?
Yes. Oh no, you handled that very well. Very well.
We
You
we
asked
ain't
three
worried.
questions and she couldn't even answer the first one, just like
It
what's his name? The skunk. They all do the same thing.
the same thing.
The same thing.
It's like they got a troll academy somewhere. I have no
Exactly.
idea. But look, we ain't worried about it. We don't
No,
even
we're
pay any
not. We
attention to
already
it. We
we
keep
already
it
used to
moving,
it.
very much
Hmm.
so, and
That's
thin
right.
skinned, and not thin skinned at this point. It's just like, okay, bye. Have a good have fun.
Right.
Have
Exactly.
fun. See you
Nothing to
later.
see here.
But
Okay.
child, yeah, that's what's been going on, and we're so happy to hear from you as always. You are one of our favorite family members who pops in, and we just going to keep moving. We just
Exactly. And we're moving right with you. And it's more
oh,
people waking up. Wake just like the school days, the end of the movie when
wake
what's his
up,
wake
Lawrence
up.
Fishburne. Mhm.
That's exactly what people are doing because you can't hide the truth. People want to try to be God. What happened to Jehovah?
The
Wasn't he
real
able?
one. The
Right.
real one.
Because he was calling himself that and he thought he was on top of the world. So, you can't, there's no way. Follow the truth, follow the right thing, and everything is gonna be all right. But see, now you ducking and hiding and tricking and all kind of stuff. People are looking right through you. People
Oh
laughing.
well. Oh
Hmm.
well. That's his lot in life.
Exactly. Good luck.
Listen to
Now,
me. When you start doing press releases about whether or not your hair is real or fake and you're a man, that's a problem.
yup,
That's a problem. Men don't do press releases about their hair.
exactly. And copy other somebody else's hairstyle, old styles.
I
Like Tego Canlerong, the Puerto Rican rapper. He's got the
mm-hmm.
same haircut, Easy E. Come on, stop. Get your own.
Well, I mean, when you lack originality, what else you gonna do?
It was
So
all a
yeah,
lie.
that
And my
part.
last thing, and my
Yes,
last
sweetie.
thing, my birthday was on the 29th. I keep missing you by like this much. Can I ask for a birthday song real quick? If not today, whenever you feel up to it, because I know it's how you gotta feel it, you know?
Well, what I will say is I'm trying to think because I would do it right now, but I gotta get ready to shut down.
I
So,
hear you, I hear you.
and I don't want to rush it out, but I can do this really fast.
Okay, love.
Happy birthday to you.
Mm,
Happy birthday to you.
mm,
Happy birthday, dear Myrna. Happy birthday to you and many more.
beautiful, beautiful.
Happy birthday, Myrna.
Thank you. Now my birthday is complete. That's all
Fabulous.
I was missing. Thank you so much. And I
Fabulous
love
and
you for
much
that. Thank
love.
you.
There's love in the chat. Send Myrna birthday love in the chat
Thank
as
you,
we
chat. Thank you,
roll up
everybody.
out of here. Oh, it's good to
Yes.
see you.
See you
Blessings.
later.
Safe
See you later,
travels. And we're
Jack.
going to
Thank
keep you in
you.
prayer.
You know where we be.
There it is.
You move, we move.
Just like that.
Just like that. All right. See you later, guys.
All right, guys. Well, that was it. What a lovely way to close the evening. That's our girl, Myrna. Birthday just passed. That big old Gemini energy is rolling through these streets. Yes, happy birthday, Myrna. All right, guys. So yeah, that's it. And on that note, we up out of here. My name is Jaguar Wright. You know our favorite producer is Wolfgang Amadeus. It's the Jaguar Wright Effect. Welcome from all of those over there at the Jaguar Wright Show. The one and only upper echelon. Thank you for sitting in. And yeah, don't forget to hit the like. And until next time, peace.